This full moon in Taurus that is coming up on the 5th of November is the full moon that you've been waiting for. And I'm going to show you exactly how on an astrology chart and then get into what you can do to work with the manifesting, the magic, all of the things that you can do with this exalted full moon in Taurus that is unafflicted and is really intermingled with the benefics and all of these really great things. This is actually a really good full moon, and I'm excited to share it with you. So let's dive in. Okay, so here we have our chart for this November 5th full moon. As you can see, it's on November 5th, a Wednesday, which is Mercury's day, in case you're wondering. And it is at 8:19 a.m., and that's on the East Coast time. Now, you're going to want to adjust this for your time zone, whatever 8:19 a.m. is for you. So that's, 3 hours back, 5:19 a.m. for Pacific time. It's going to be happening at the same time for everybody because it's a perfection between the opposition of the sun and the moon. So that's going to happen in one instant and will be adjusted to our time zones as compared to some astrological elections where you want a certain rising sign and stuff like that. And so you have to kind of adjust your chart differently. Not that difficult with this one. All you have to do is adjust for your time zone to accommodate for whatever it is that is 8:19 a.m. Eastern time, but in your time zone, and you will know when this full moon is occurring. You can even do it after, so you really have all day and most of the following day to do this until the following evening on the 6th. The moon will be considered full and will still be exalted in Taurus. So there is no rush. Doing it after the full moon, just by a couple hours or whatever, is a little bit more ideal. But that's what you can work with. So let's get into why I'm so excited about this. The full moon is occurring in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is the sign where the moon is exalted. Now, we only get one full moon in Taurus each year, and it's always in the month where the sun is in Scorpio. In order for the moon to be full, it has to be opposite the sun. Since the sun visits each sign each month, that means that we have to wait for the sun to be in Scorpio in order to get a full moon in the sign of her exaltation in Taurus. So this is a once in a year thing. And you might be thinking, okay, it's once a year. Why are you so excited? Because we get bonus points for this one. This is a little bit more of a rare event than just this annual full moon in her exaltation. The moon is ruled by Venus because Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is over here in her domicile. Now, by aspect, Venus cannot see the moon. They are considered averse because they're not making a nice geometrical line to each other. However, if you look at the math here, the degrees that we're looking at, before the 13th degree of a sign, we really don't have any visible planet that the moon has interacted with while in Taurus. So we have to pop back to the very last degrees of Aries and see who is in the later degrees of a sign that can see Aries to see who spoke to the moon last. What was the most recent aspect the moon had? And so if we pop back here, we'll get to the 28th degree of Aries, which will give us Venus. So again, the ruler of the moon was also her last aspect. The next aspect the moon will have after this opposition with the sun, we move her forward and we look at our, perfect little spaces for her to be able to see. And the next aspect by a hair is going to be with Jupiter, who is also exalted. And that's both benefics, being the previous conversation and the next conversation with the moon surrounding the full moon at this time. Saturn is very close, but Jupiter cuts in by a hair, so we'll take it. So that is what we're looking at here. A moon that is in conversation with both benefics, held, if you will, by both benefics, and both benefics are in signs that they are strong in. And this is a temporary thing. Venus is going to move out of Libra, I think this same day, if not the next day. So Venus is in Libra, but she's going to be moving out. And so we caught her at just the right time. And again, that's not always guaranteed. You're not always going to have Venus nicely situated in Libra at the time of the full moon. So this is another reason why it's a little bit of an extra perk. But having Jupiter in the sign of his exaltation up here in Cancer, that's a once in every 12 years thing. So this wasn't something we had last year, and it's not something we'll have next year. It's just this year. So this is a once in a decade, give or take, opportunity. So this is really nice having and for the moon to be applying to Jupiter and all those things, there's a lot of things falling into place for this one. So yes, we are still in some interesting situations. All of the major aspect patterns that we've been talking about throughout this year that will reach their pinnacle and culminations in 2026 that we are feeling the building of at this time, they are still in play. But even in tense situations, there are moments of levity. Even in hard times, there are good things. In fact, this is astrologically sound because Valens, in his book, The Anthology, that was written 5,000 years ago, said the same thing. So Valens said, you're going to have longer periods of time that are governed by malefics. And even within that, you'll have aspects to benefic planets that will bring good times among the bad. You can still celebrate your birthday, even though the world's on fire, those kinds of things. So I'm not saying bypass everything that's going on and everything that needs your attention, but don't forget to take advantage of and acknowledge the goodness that you have. And so let's jump into how you can actually do that, right? This moon is in Taurus. Thinking about Taurus as a fixed earth sign, we can get into some of the themes that Taurus really supports. It's a fixed earth sign ruled by Venus. So already we're getting into comforts, we're getting into stability, support, things that make us feel comfortable, right? Whether it's I feel comfortable because I have stability, I feel comfortable because I have support from friends, relationships, or the material items that I need to feel safe and supported in my life. Taurus wants you to be provided for. So this is definitely one of those abundance full moons. And I know a lot of the time people will talk about what to release during a full moon. And that's because after the moon is perfecting her opposition with the sun, as we see here, she begins to wane. And so in that waning light, we start releasing things. If you're wondering what you should release at this time, it is any beliefs or blocks or any actual obstacles that are between you and sustainable, comfortable lifestyles, whatever that means to you by your definition. This is also a really great time to celebrate the things that you have already and to really work on practical manifesting. So when I say practical manifesting, I mean do the steps. So I actually have a free guide on my website, crystallinesophia.com, where you can download my practical manifesting guide. It is the steps and it kind of conceptualizes it. But long story short, in addition to that, it's about making space for the good things in your life. It's about teaching your energy, your body, your nervous system what joy and comfort feel like by leaning into the things that make you feel joyous and comfortable. It's also a really good time to make space by donating. So if you are looking forward to expanding your closet for a new season and, new temperatures, donate the clothes that you're not going to need anymore. So now, not only have you used joy and all of those relational kind of things that Venus would really enjoy, but you're making space for more of that to come in. You're saying, hey, I'm giving this. I have space for more of it now. Can I have some? And that is where you will see that come in. That becomes your magnet, not only magnet energetically to say, hey, I am being a beacon of the things that I want more of, but also here's exactly where I want to put it. So that meme of like, here's where I would put this if I have one. Well, they're manifesting having one because they have a space for it. So that is what you can do at this time too. And again, it's an earth sign, so manifesting very tangible things is very much an option. So I would give you the affirmation or the spell or the mantra, however you want to view it, of I am divinely supported and I deserve to feel comfortable. And then just really witness if you say that, do you believe it? And if you don't, ask yourself why. What your brain provides for you as the why I don't believe this or why I don't deserve to feel comfortable, those are your limiting beliefs. That's what you're going to work on releasing in whatever way feels most comfortable for you. So you have what you want to release if you want to work on releasing, but you also have a small template on how to manifest practically and tangibly at this time. And again, donating and doing good deeds and things are going to be an incredible form of planetary charity to these two benefics, saying, hey, I'm giving abundance to others. I would like to receive abundance as well. And that's okay. You are totally good to do that. You totally deserve it. So focus on what abundance means for you. Focus on where you can share abundance so that you can attract abundance and where you're making space for that in your life. What your daily life will actually look and feel like with this abundance as part of it. Again, if you find that you think about your daily life with these things and something comes up where you're like, oh no, I won't have this if I have the abundance I'm trying to get, well, then think about that, make space for it, work around it, accommodate it, or release what needs to be released in order to make that feel more doable and acceptable for you. You are not manifesting someone else's definition of joy, comfort, sustainability, whatever. You're manifesting yours. So it should fit really well with who you are and what you want. You are divinely supported and you deserve to feel comfortable. And I hope that this full moon in Taurus brings so many good things and is exactly the breath of fresh air and support and comfort. And, again, if you want to bake something, it's a really good time to do that. If you want to donate to a food pantry or a bake sale or something like that, so that you can make more food and increase abundance that way, another great way to do it. Whatever you choose, I hope that you feel amazing and you get to have all of the good things because we finally have an opportunity to really call those in. I will see you again on our live Monday broadcasts here on YouTube, on the Alchemist Inkwell podcast, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. We do our live broadcasts on Friday with the Alchemist Inkwell. We're starting a Twitch channel soon where you can cozy game with us. And we're doing all sorts of things where we can interact and be a space for you to enjoy those comforts in all of the great ways. And I hope that it becomes clear and wonderful. And I just want all the best things for you. Have a great day.